can't drink something, right? It doesn't have hands, it can't grab a bottle and hold it, right? So beer is angry because I'm drinking but he can't, right? That's what it means in English. So what's different there? 这是英文的问题还是中文的问题？ What do you guys think? Is that an English problem or a Chinese problem? Both of them. Good answer, a safe answer, right? In this case, it's a Chinese problem. Most languages are like English. If I say the dog eats the cat, or the cat eats the dog, which animal is eating which animal? You know by the order of the words. The one before the verb eats the one after the verb. Subject, verb, object. 主词, 动词, 受词, right? But Chinese isn't like that. In Chinese, for one thing, only a person can be a subject. A person or an animal, right? So 东西不可以当主词, right? You can only have the door as the object. So 关门一定不是门自己关. But in English, the door closes, the door is the subject. So that makes a big difference when we try to take ideas from one language and put them in another language. We need to start there, right? This is where we start. So 要了解为什么这样子没有办法，这样子不能用, right? You can't keep doing that. Now, what's easier, studying English grammar or studying Chinese grammar? 哪一个比较简单？英文的文法还是中文的文法？ Your own grammar is easier to learn. It's in your language. So start there. It's the same with pronunciation and words and even practice. If you don't understand it in Chinese, you won't understand it in English. How many of you read books in Chinese? Yeah, put your hand up really slow. All right, so out of 13 people, one person likes to read books. If you don't read in Chinese, are you going to read in English? So, part of the thing about practice, we need to talk about how you can learn these skills, but also how you can practice. These are both important. If you want to practice something in English, you have to do it in Chinese first. Otherwise, you won't do it in English. So, what should you try to read in English? If you want to read, what should you read in English? Or in Japanese, or in Spanish, or whatever language you want to learn. What should you read? What's the best thing for you to read? Newspaper, magazines, books, movies? The best thing for you to read in English is whatever you read in Chinese. If you like reading something in Chinese, read it in English. And it has to be easier, right? It has to be lower level. But if you like stories about space in Chinese, then you might enjoy them in English. If you hate stories about space, then don't try to read them in English. Does anybody read the newspaper in Chinese? Okay. If you guys don't read the newspaper in Chinese, don't try to read it in English, because you'll stop, you'll give up. So, these are both important. When it comes to reading and writing, some of the answers are really simple. When it comes to speaking and listening, how do you practice? When should you practice? How many minutes every day do you need to practice speaking? If you want your English speaking to get better, how much do you need to practice? Always is a good start, yeah. Whenever you can, right? You have to try at least every day. You have to try, right? Because it's just like exercising, right? If you come to English class for 2 hours and you do a lot of work and practice, and then the rest of the year, nothing. It's the same thing. If I practice basketball that way, right? And I practice really hard for 1 day, and then for 3 weeks, nothing. 有没有用? Okay? Now, I want you guys to start a bit of speaking too, but before we start with this, how about a topic for you to practice with? What do you guys want to talk about? Pick a topic. Something that will keep you awake and not looking down here, whatever is down there. What do you guys want to talk about? Okay. Food? Food is sometimes an easy place to start. You guys all like to eat? Okay, let's start with food then. So, if we're going to be talking about food, then you all know enough words, rice, noodles, things like that, right? That you can talk a little bit about it. I'd like you to try to tell the people next to you what your favorite food is. Now, the purpose of this is to find the problems. What makes it hard for you to talk? Is it just that you don't know the words, or are there other problems? So, try. What's your favorite food? Try telling the people next to you. How about you move up here, just pull a chair up. That way you have somebody to talk to. So, yeah, bring it. Just bring your chair on up here. And, yeah, and if you guys talk, you girls can talk. The three of you, okay? You guys talk together. Or how about this? If you girls talk and then you can talk. That way you each have a partner. And that just leaves you guys if you can three talk together, okay? So, tell each other, yeah, pull your chair up. Pull up here so you guys can talk. Yeah, so grab a chair. Yeah. Just pull it up here. Oh. Okay, yeah, one of the smaller chairs. Try that. There's a solution for that. There we go. Okay. So, what is your favorite food? Try to talk about it. Try to just say, my favorite food is. But in English. So, what's your favorite food? Okay. Try the whole sentence. My favorite food is. Okay. 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 So we already have some problems. Even just saying something simple like my favorite food is, right? So what are the problems? We all know that there are going to be some problems with pronunciation. You'll find one. Okay. Alright. But if you use this instead of this, if you use this, then pronunciation is not a problem. You can learn. Right? Okay. What about not enough words?